Hello, everyone. Welcome to part three of Connecting with Your Angels for Guidance and Protection. What an absolute honor and pleasure it is to be here in your company and to be connecting with so many of you. I wanted to also just take the opportunity to thank Hay House, who have been the host of this incredible seminar series. Over the lead up to these live courses, over 75,000 people participated in the quiz to help you understand which archangel to work with or signed up for this webinar series. And my life's work is to help as many people get as spiritually connected as humanly possible. And that would not be possible for me to create such an impact and reach as many people unless we had all of the team at Hay House making this come together. So just the fact that they were able to plan this and put this together and get so many of you here live, super grateful to Hay House for that. In part three, today's webinar, I'm going to be speaking to you particularly about signs, angel signs, why angels send us signs, what these signs mean, and how we can really uncover any messages that are trying to come through to our angels. So if you have ever received a sign and wondered, what does this sign mean? Today's class is going to help you get to the bottom of signs for good and what you can do in your day-to-day life when a sign appears. So your angels are constantly trying to send us little messages and signs. But before we dive into that, I also just want to say that today I'm also going to be giving you the opportunity to take what we have learned here further. So if there's a part of you that's got this real feeling that you need to do more with the angels and you want to do more with the angels, and you would like me to be your spiritual running buddy in that, I'm also going to be telling you about a program that I created with Hay House that will help you take that connection to the next level. The other thing that I wanted to share is that today, during this class, I'm also going to be taking someone on video, face to face, in front of the live audience that is gathering here to do an angel reading. And I wanted to demonstrate this ability to you. So I'm also going to be taking someone out of the audience onto video. So if that's something that you're going to be interested in, just make sure your camera ready and I will be asking you to make yourself known if you want to come on live. And I've got my trusted angel guide oracle here. I know that many of you have maybe got a copy of Angel Guide Oracle, and during this webinar series, we've been making a special offer for this Oracle deck as well. So this is my favorite cards that I've ever made, and I'm going to be using them to channel angels for one person today. So where are you tuning in from? I'd love to hear. We've got currently 2,000 people in the Zoom space with us right now. There's people watching on all different platforms from around the world. So where are you watching from? Telqua, BC, Wyoming, Alberta, Springfield, Illinois, India, Florida, Sarasota, California, Devon, upstate New York, Toronto, Dallas, Texas, Vancouver, Canada, Kentucky, Camera Ready in Florida, North Dakota, Missouri, Orlando, Ohio, Birmingham, UK, Philadelphia, Orange County, Arizona, Saratoga Springs, Finland, Ontario, Southern California, the Basque Country in Spain, Ripon, Wisconsin, Ohio. Where else have we got? Barcelona, Copenhagen, South Africa, Ireland, Northern Ireland, more Africa, Cape Town. Thank you so much to everyone who is here with me live. It is an absolute pleasure to be in this space with you. I'm now turning off the chat, but if you have any questions about anything that we've discussed in the last two webinars, or with regards to the angels in general, you'll either be able to find, if you're watching this online on a screen, a comment section below. You'll also be able to find a Q&A section below, or if you're watching on YouTube, a comment section to the side. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your questions. And of course, I will try and answer as many as possible to help you understand the angels even better. So just a quick refresher of what we were discussing the last few days. The most important thing I'll say to you is that every single class shares a different aspect of the angels and connecting with angels with you. So if you've not had the opportunity to watch the previous lessons, that's okay. This class is still going to give you lots of information, guidance, tools, and tips for you to connect with your angels in a more deeper way. And I'll just share that if we've never met before, my name is Kyle Gray. I'm a Hay House author. I've been with Hay House for 11 years. And in that time, I've written 8 books and created 7 oracle decks. And my work is centered around helping everyday people create a remarkable spiritual connection, because I'm an everyday person too. And it's my belief that everybody has what it takes to develop a personal relationship with their guardian angel. And your guardian angel has been with you since the beginning of time. And this divine being will be with you every step of the way on your journey in this lifetime. And after you leave the physical realm, this being will be with you in the heavens. So I believe this angel all through your life is recording everything that's happening to you. And this being is always on hand to help you. And your angel's capacity to help you is really down to your free will. This being does not want to force you in one direction or another. This being, which is the essence of unconditional love, needs your invitation consistently in order to intersect your life and support you along the way. For me, angels are divine beings, non-human, but many humans can become angels. In particular, the souls of lost children can become angels. But for me, angels are non-human beings. They have no ego. And the best way to describe them would be, if God was to be a gigantic big heart, every time God's heart was to beat, the beat would be an angel. And therefore, when you are in connection with an angel, or praying to an angel, or calling on an angel, you are in direct connection with the heart of God. The word angel means messenger of God. So even if you just say angel, you're still calling on God. There is no segregation between angels and God. They are one together forever. So that's really important to say this, especially if you've ever felt apprehensive about, going above the head of the higher power. When you're calling on an angel, you're calling on the heart of God. Like, they are not separate. And that's really exciting to me. With that being said, your guardian angel will come to you in a way that is personable and reachable. And so therefore, even though your guardian angel is one with God, this being will take a personal, individual appearance so that you can have a personal relationship with the angel. And so angels are formless essentially, but they appear in form and do take form so that our human minds can comprehend their energy, and so that we can develop a personal relationship with them. And the ultimate purpose of an angel is to help you remember the love that you have come from. That's it. Their purpose is to remind you where you have come from and to help you experience heaven on earth. Because the truth of the matter is, and every great sage and spiritual teacher have shared this since the beginning of time, that we are all one. and that we are infinitely connected to the source that we have come from. And I believe that if we are to consistently come back to the remembrance that the place that we have come from is the place that we will return to, and essentially the place that we have never left, all of the problems and the issues and the segregation and the upheaval in the world can be healed and transformed. And so our angels are constantly trying to remind us who we are and where we've come from. And when we can get into that heart space, all of the choices, the decisions that we make in our life are from that space and are always in the inclusion of others, and the raising of consciousness of all beings. So that's what I would say. The other thing I wanted to share is this. I am your friend. I like to consider myself kind of like your spiritual running buddy. I'm in this with you. And I think it's really important, even though I have an expertise in angels and I've studied them for a very long time, and I've spent my entire adult life not just researching angels and studying angels, experiencing them. I believe that you and I are equals. We are of equal standing, as they say in Sanskrit, samastitihi, equal standing. And I think it's really important to say that I don't want to be glorified or put on a pedestal. I just want to share this information with you so that you can have this connection for yourself. This is possible for you. And so as much as things might be impressive and cool, and, I've got a really cool outfit on today, I am your equal. And the moment you make someone more holy than you or less holy than you is the moment you forget about your own holiness. We are all equal. The other thing that I wanted to share with you today is my truth and your truth can be different. If some of the information I'm sharing with you doesn't fully resonate, that's okay. I'm completely fine with that. I don't think we have to agree on absolutely everything. And we're kind of in this world now where it's very much us vs them, if you don't think the same as me, we can't be friends. And, that's a really scary world to live in. So my guidance in this would be feel things out for yourself. If it resonates, it resonates. Take it with you. If it doesn't resonate, leave it behind, let it go. Don't let that cause some sort of parting between us. Because at the end of the day, and I know for the fact that you are here in this conversation, just by being interested in angels and being called to angels, there's a part of you that really wants to make a difference. There's a part of you that really wants to leave a positive impact on this planet and essentially a legacy of love. So please don't let any of our differences cause any challenges between us. And in fact, if you see things differently, I absolutely honor you in that. And I just wanted to come to a couple of questions that were submitted, because I think some of this information will be supportive as we dive into the conversation a little bit deeper. So I got a great question from Minky, who said, from my African point of view, are my ancestors angels also? What is the difference? And I think that's a really wonderful question, because if you look at the four corners of the world, and this was before you could even jump on a British Airways aircraft and travel from Scotland to Australia, or, London to LA. In the four corners of the planet, there was this common theme amongst the elders who walked the earth before us, that there is unseen beings and spirits that are in the ether that we can call upon for help and support. And so if you go to, Aboriginal teachings, you'll find these kind of ancestral beings. The same if you go to African teachings, you'll find these ancestral beings. The Indian, as in Asia, India, have the devas. The Buddhists have the bodhisattvas. The Celtic ones, my ancestry, had guardian spirits of the land. So essentially, in my opinion, the ancestor beings and these kind of star ancestors that some, indigenous cultures speak about, for me, are the same thing as angels. They're different embodiments of love and different impressions of love. But the main thing to know is that their essence remains the same, that we've all come from one great source, we'll all return to that same great source, and that same great source can help you along the way. So that's my opinion on it. For me, I'm really excited by Tibetan and kind of South Asian teachings as well. And one of the things that I noticed while reading the essential studies of Buddhism, Robert Thurman, who is the professor of Indo-Tibetan studies at Columbia University, also Uma Thurman's father, if you've ever seen Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill, he was a high-level monk at one point, and he's super cool and tight friends with the Dalai Lama. He describes the Bodhisattva as the archangelic beings of Tibetan Buddhism. And the Bodhisattva are essentially these beings that were birthed from pure compassion. And the stories say that the Lord of Compassion was Avalokiteshvara, was looking upon the planet, seen people going through really challenging things, or saw people going through really, emotional times, and cried tears. And these tears hit the mud, and from the mud birthed these lotuses, and from the lotuses came these graceful beings, these guiding spirits called the Bodhisattva, that reached out to men and women in their suffering and guided them on their way. So to answer this question, Minky, yes, I would say the ancestral beings from your culture are definitely the same thing as me connecting with angels. The main difference between angels and the ancestors, in my opinion, is that the ancestors have usually had an earthly life. But I've noted in a lot of the people I've met along my way, and a lot of elders that I've spoken to in my journey, is that there's ancestors who have walked the earth as in your family lineage, and there's also the ancestors as in these elder-like beings who are descending from source, guiding us on our way. And that is what I'm speaking about. That is the beings that I would consider angelic. So if there's a different name in your culture or your tradition, please honor that when I'm sharing some of the information about how I see angels. And if you can collide your culture and some of these more contemporary teachings together to find a happy medium, there's a pun, then you'll be able to have a more authentic connection and something that feels really real and visceral and approachable and achievable for you. So I think that's really, really cool. When I created my oracle deck, Angels and Ancestors Oracle, that's what I was really trying to bridge. And we worked with, an artist from New Zealand, and we got all these models from different cultures to sit for us to kind of embody their ancestors. And they all were in this project together. And I actually received a talking stick from an indigenous elder as a thank you for this kind of acknowledgement of it. So I think that it's really cool to acknowledge that in all these cultures there are angels, and how you see them and what you call them is completely okay. It's more the feeling that we're speaking about. Another great question came in from Sarah, who said, do angels relate to gender? And I think that's a really interesting thing, because there's lots of different information out there about angels. But for me, angels are beyond gender in the sense where, they don't have genitals, they don't have sex organs. They're beyond the physical body. And so I've noticed that angels can appear as masculine and feminine. You might also get this feeling that the angel is kind of a little bit feminine, but a little bit masculine. And I've also noticed that many people experience angels in a way that would be more relatable for them. For example, there's been a lot of debate in historical scripture and text about Archangel Gabriel. Rumor has it that the Catholic Church and kind of system changed Gabriel from a feminine angel, Gabriel, to Gabriel, to be more in alignment with the patriarchal system, which is quite an interesting thing. And Gabriel, as we know from Judaism and Christianity, is also the same angel, Jabril, from Islam. So we kind of acknowledge that angels have this amazing ability to kind of change their gender along the way. And I've also noted that many people experience angels differently. One of my friends I met professionally a few years ago used to experience Archangel Raphael, who always feels masculine to me when I call upon him. He kind of shows up as this handsome Italian kind of hunk. When I spoke to my friend about this archangel, she acknowledged that Archangel Raphael shows up as a feminine angel but with long hair, and like completely female. So I find it really interesting that many people see angels differently, and I think the message in this is that angels probably transcend gender, but will use that in some way or shape or form to help us understand who they are. When I'm working with Raguel, Archangel Raguel, I can't figure out, the gender of that angel. And so I see Archangel Raguel as this kind of gender fluid angel. So that's just something for you to consider. And I think that, go with what feels right for you. And, I find it really fascinating. Another thing I'll say to you is when I first was introduced to angels, all those years ago, there was a couple of different authors out there who were really well known at writing about angels. And every single angel in a particular teacher's work just looked like, this blonde guy with abs who just came out of the ocean surfing in Southern California. And for me, that just wasn't relatable, And so when I started to pitch my Oracle decks in 2014, I wanted to have angels of all different tones and skin color and gender and all different race backgrounds, because I think angels are for everyone and no one should be left out. And so when I tune into Archangel Michael in more recent times, I always just get this like African American, strong, powerful man energy coming in. And I played with the Archangel Raphael being a little bit more feminine in the Angel Guide Oracle, to kind of just give other options to show people that, angels are different to every single person, and not one person is wrong, and no one was left out. There's my kind of image of Michael, So I think these are important questions to answer. So I'd love to say this. Angels is becoming a bigger and bigger topic, and angels are transcending modern day, kind of transcending religion and becoming a modern day thing. And this is part of their plan. The angels want to be a bigger part of the world, like that's for certain. And what I've come to understand, and looking at the statistics around it, is that around 80% plus in the US believe in angels. It was something along the lines of 8 out of 10 people believe in angels in the US. And I find that really cool. In the UK, the statistics were a little bit lower. It was 1 in every 3rd person believes in angels. I find that really cool. Now, looking at these statistics, and you'll be able to find this on BeliefNet, that there was also a study done on people experiencing angels, and out of those who did believe in angels, 1 in every 10th person who said they believed in angels, believed that they had also had some sort of direct encounter or experience with angels. So when you look at that across the board and knowing how many, billion of people are in the earth, there are many people, normal people, everyday people experiencing the divine every single day. Now, your angel, and the word angel, as you know, means messenger of God. So messenger means communication, right? It's of your angel's nature to communicate. Your angel wants to message you. Your angel wants to be in touch with you. They want you to know that they are there. And throughout the ages, angels have found different ways to get connected with us. And if you look into kind of more ancient times, you'll notice that our elders and our ancestors would have interpreted signs in nature as messages from the divine, like cloud formations, experiencing a particular animal on your path. We still do this today. Who here has said, "Good morning, Mr. Magpie"? Things like that, like seeing an animal along the way, signifying something particularly different. And that kind of came into 21st century life as well, with if a black cat walks in front of your car, it could mean this. And some people believed it meant luck, and some people believed it meant something else. Or if you find a moth in your closet, it would mean that there's a letter coming your way. So signs, omens, as other people may have acknowledged them, have been around for ages and ages and ages. And as we move more into the digital age, the angels have found different ways to tell us that they are there, and have found ways to communicate with us through a digital means, whether that be us finding ourselves turning on the radio at the right moment and the song sings lyrics that are the answer to our prayer, or the the clock has all the ones lining up on it when you look down at the dash, 11111. So I want to just tell you this, that there is an ultimate meaning of all signs, and it doesn't matter what the sign is, there is one ultimate meaning, and it's got three parts to it that I wanted to share with you so that you can know this. So the first thing I'll say is that in order for you to figure out if you're receiving a sign, the first thing I'll say is that the first thing, I'm not just saying the first thing, I've said that like a million times. The thing I want you to know is that when you see something and you're going, oh my goodness, is this a sign? This feels like a sign. It's a sign. If you are getting a hit as soon as you see something that it's a sign, I want you to know, my friend, that it is a sign. If you get that download, it means you're receiving something. So if you see something like a feather in a random place, or a number sequence is lining up on the clock, or you turn on the radio and the lyrics sing an answer to your prayer, or they say angel, or you get a feeling, or you hear your name being called, or you see a bird of prey, or you see a wildcat, or a bear was in your front yard and everyone was safe. If you see something and you go, this feels like a sign, I can guarantee you it's a sign. Now, when a sign comes to you, I know we're all guilty of wanting to pick up our phone or our camera and take a photo. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I know that we just want to like memorize and keep note of the thing happening, right? But I want you to take into consideration something really special here. when you are receiving a sign, you are in touch with your guardian angel. And the greatest gift you can bring to that moment is your presence. The moment you pick up your cell phone to take a picture of it, or to be like, oh my God, look what's happening, you're losing the magic. Because in that moment, there is a greater alignment happening for angels to tell you that they're with you. So there's three things you need to know about signs. The first thing is this: when a sign appears to you, the ultimate message that you need to know is that you are on the right path. Signs only show up when we are in alignment. So if you get a sign and you think, does this mean I'm on the right track or not the right track? In fact, one of the most common prayers that anybody asks their angel is this: angels, thank you for letting me know I'm on the right track. Then the sign arrives, and then the person sees the sign and they go, are my angels telling me I'm on the right track or not? Now, if you're laughing right now, it's because you've done that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because we've all been there. So what I want you to know is this: when a sign appears for you, it can only show up when you're on the right track. So if you call in a sign and you don't see it, something needs to change on your path. And when you make the essential changes that are required, then the signs will show up. Now, if you see a sign and you're questioning, I don't know if that is a sign, then it's not a sign. But if you instantly see something and you go, this is a sign, it's a sign. That initial download is your angelic connection growing stronger. The more you listen to that and acknowledge that feeling, the stronger you're going to be able to hear your angels, to maybe even see them one day or feel them in your body. So the first thing is, when a sign appears, you're on the right track. Number two, the message that your angel wants you to know is that you are not alone. When a sign appears, it's because your angel wants you to know that they are with you. So you're on the right track and you're not alone. There is a being of unconditional love with you. And so that message of your angel is with you is something that you need to feel. And so just taking a moment to close your eyes when the sign appears and taking a big, deep breath is going to let you arrive in the present moment. And there's a greater chance that you're going to have some sort of divine encounter. Because in that moment and in that space, your guardian angel is with you right there. The third part is help is available to you. So you're on the right track, you're not alone, and help is available to you. So in that moment, if there's a challenge in your life, if there's something that you want to heal, if there's, an energy in your life that you want to overcome, in that moment, you have the opportunity to call in help. So that's when I would be like, thank you, angels, for reminding me of your presence. It feels so good to know you are here. Thank you for laying your healing hands upon this situation that has been causing me concern. Thank you for leading it to an overall remarkable healing. It feels so good to be in a harmonious space with everything that's been happening. In that moment, your angel prayers are magnified by 10. So that's the ultimate sign. That's the ultimate meaning behind all signs. And I'm going to take a pause for a little second and then jump back into signs and ask you what signs you're seeing. And I'll tell you some of my ideas on what particular signs mean. So before I go any further, in case we lose track of time here, I also just want to share this to you. If you've enjoyed the last few days of us doing this deep dive into connecting with your angels for guidance and protection, I want to say something to you. If you feel that this needs to become a greater part of your life, I want you to know that your angels are recruiting you. Your angels want you to be their messenger. So therefore you can become the angel's angel. So if you feel in your bones and in your heart that more needs to come from this for you, your angels are recruiting you, and all they need for you is to say yes. And with that being said, my life's work is to help you get there. And so for a short time, for the next 4 days, the program that I created with Hay House, which is called Certified Angel Guide, is on a huge discount. The training is normally $499, and we've discounted it down to $199 so that we can make this training accessible for as many people as possible. And this training is the essential guide that will teach you how to get into that energy of service so that you can bring the angels to others. So in this training, I'm going to teach you how to attune yourself to the angels, open up to the angels, and share the angels with others through these sessions, which I call angel guide sessions. And in my lifetime, I've probably done about 15,000 private one-to-one sessions helping people get connected with their angels. And in this training, I teach you how to do that. Now, I want you to consider something really important before we jump back into signs. If you want to know your angels deeper and you want to experience them for yourself, the best way to develop the connection is by doing it for others. I found that I saw other people's angels before I saw my own. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is service. The angels emanate from this golden light of service. And so when we step into service and want to share angels with other people, we become magnetic to them. We attract them into our energy field and we draw them into our world. And we're able to tell other people that their angels are with them. And thus, we develop this powerful spiritual muscle strength to be able to experience them for ourselves. So even if you don't want to be a professional angel guide or healer, by learning how to serve others with angels, in turn, we learn how to experience them for ourselves. And so that's why I was the boy who could see angels, because I was too busy trying to channel everyone's angels and I was seeing them everywhere, but I wasn't experiencing my own. In fact, it took another 5 years before I even saw my own angel. I was seeing everyone else's first. So service is how we accelerate our spiritual connection. So you'll be able to find more out about Certified Angel Guide via the email that Hay House have sent you. Check it out. It's available on discount for the next 4 days. Now let's jump back over to signs. Let me know in the chat what signs you are seeing. I'd love to tell you a little bit about particular signs. So let's just talk about angel numbers first of all. Angel Numbers is another book that I've written. And angel numbers are when you see numbers appearing on a clock or another digital format or even a receipt. And the angel numbers line up in a specific way. The most common angel numbers would be 1111, 222, 333, 444, 555, all these different ones. But we also get sequences like 123 and 321. So 1111 or 111 means the angels are one, one, one with you. 222 is about service and helping other people heal, and sometimes it also means forgiveness. 333 is the number of Christ and the ascended masters. That's when the saints are around you. 444 are the angels and the archangels protecting you along the way. 555 is about change and action. A lot of people are concerned about 666, so I'll speak about it. That's the number of your ego is in control. Don't let that lead the way. If you see numbers that go up in a ladder like 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4 or 4, 5, 6, that means you're climbing up. You're moving on up a level. If you're getting numbers that are going downward in sequence like 3, 2, 1 or 4, 3, 2, that's the angels telling you to take a step back. You need to reevaluate before proceeding forward. If you're seeing white feathers, it's a message that your guardian angels are with you and they're leading you to grace. If you're seeing black feathers, it's the message, it's okay to be different, and I am absorbing your pain. If you see dragonflies, it's a message that you are on the road to spiritual discovery and connection. Flashing lights means that your clairvoyance is developing and you're being able to see angels with your own eyes and in the dream state. Butterflies are often a message from a loved one and your angels to let you know that a person that you love in heaven is now free of pain. Eagles, hawks, and any birds of prey that fly high see this from a higher perspective. It's your angels trying to get you to see things from a different way, seeing other people's point of view, or not allowing yourself to be limited by your own concerns. Finding hearts or heart-shaped rocks are the angels inviting you to work with the earth and connect with the earth. Something that you can do can make a great difference to the actual planet and the environment. A magpie is usually grandparents coming to us from heaven, like a grandfather, like, hi, Grandpa. The same with robins. Those are usually a message of a loved one coming to you, particularly grandparents, because for some reason. What else? Owls are about gaining deeper wisdom, and it's about being able to see in all directions, because owls can turn their head all the way around. So this is about check behind you, watch your back. Sometimes that's what owls will say to you. It's about broadening your wisdom and checking behind you. Dimes are usually, again, another grandparent one. They love to, or pennies or dimes, grandparents telling us that they're with us. Cardinals are usually some sort of call to action. So if you see a cardinal, it's like you need to do something about this. You're being called to action. It'll be like an angel or a loved one in heaven telling you, like, I wouldn't stand for this and neither should you. Take action. So these are some of them. Quite a lot of you are seeing cardinals. Words on number plates. If you see a word, it's usually whatever the word means is the message. Numbers, like I said, were already the angels coming in. But feathers of any color are your angels drawing close. Blue is for protection. Pink is for love, sometimes the message of a child on the way. Green is about healing, but it can also be about helping clear your mind and bring serenity to you. Yellow is about joy and happiness and success in a venture. Orange is about just hold on off like an amber light. Red is about proceed with caution. Turtles are about taking some time to retreat in your shell and stay safe. Keep your protection on and up. Hummingbirds are about enjoying the sweetness of life. Deer of any shape or size is about stamina, life, being revitalized, about thriving, because deers can survive all year round. They're available in every season. So they're about helping us thrive. If you see a white animal, like a white bear, a white deer, or a white moose, a miracle is coming to you. You have been touched by the hands of Christ. That's usually what that means. So yeah, these are some of my interpretations to signs, and I hope. Oh, rainbows are a promise that something great is going to happen. Hares are about leaning on the moon and being aware that your wishes are coming true. Wildcats are about developing the ability of survival and keeping your eyes wide open because these beings can see in the dark. Spiders are about the connection of all things, recognizing that your actions have consequences. Ringing in ears are about reaching a higher vibration, being called upon by the angels, reaching a higher vibration, moving up a little. Someone said to me, oh, herons are about spiritual strength. We saw a heron yesterday because I live in the country, and or just next to the country. And there was two herons that recently landed on my roof at home, and they were standing on my roof, and they are the symbol of spiritual strength. Snakes are usually about peeling off a layer and revealing deeper aspects of yourself and being comfortable in your own skin. Foxes are about trusting your talents in changing times, because you can take a fox and it can survive the Arctic or New York City. They are amazing. They're my favorite. Swans are about grace, being graceful in all you do. Yes, so I hope this has helped all of you today with regards to signs. And I'd now love to ask who here would like a reading. If you'd like a reading, please raise your hand. And if you raise your hand, be prepared to come on video, because that means one of you is going to come on live in person. Here we go. It's moving so fast. Okay, the name I saw was Reina. Reina, are you there? Just need to unmute. I just need you to unmute.
I'm here.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for choosing me. This is great.
Awesome. And where are you in the world? I'd love to know.
I am in the Golden Heart of Alaska, the center.
Whoa! How amazing!
Yeah.
So, do you have a question you would like me to ask the angels for you today?
Oh. Let's see.
If you don't have a question, I can work with general. Don't worry.
No, I do have a question. When you ask to think of something that you have gratitude for, most people think of family or friends, and it's been a rough life for the last 10 years, and so I'm alone. So my gratitude is for the next breath, but I know there's so much more.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? You know, as soon as I saw you, first of all, I could see angels around you, so you're definitely not alone. And I can feel three angels, guardian angels, circling around you. And there was this feeling that I just really wanted to say that your angels have been with you through thick and thin. And the angels are telling me that you are an incredible person because life has served you some really harsh hands along the way. And you've really turned your life around. And, I think that you've been in this time of seclusion in some shape or form, but I think it's also because you really needed to learn who you were again and kind of get to know yourself without the negative
Mm.
influences of other people. Now, I'm not saying this was a choice, but I think this was a spiritual lesson where I think there was a point in your life that you lost touch with yourself. You didn't know who you were anymore, and you kind of had to take yourself out of a circumstance that was less than favorable, and it had to turn your life around. And with that being said, I think that it took a long time for you to really get to know yourself again and to know your gifts and your qualities and some of the sweet things inside of you. And did you change your name?
I usually use a different name when I'm online
Yeah,
because of a domestic
okay.
past.
Okay, the angels are making me feel about changing the name, and I feel like the changing of your name is actually a really positive thing for your identity because it's kind of like here's the new me, here's the me without the baggage, here's me without the negative influences in my life. And so it might not be an official
Mm.
thing, but it might be something you've done just kind of behind the scenes, but actually representing something greater. So, the first does that make sense?
It does. I was using my mother's maiden name as my first name, and it was her father that died when she was a child that
Right.
used to come to me during difficult times.
Okay.
I'd see him. He'd be sitting on my bed.
Can I ask you then, does your family have some sort of connection to working on boats or being on the boat or being at sea or anything like that?
Landlubbers, every one of
Really?
them.
Well, it's interesting because when
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, I saw the Titanic, and I do not know why I saw that, but I want to just leave it there because I don't know if it's like something about that ship has to sail, or we're going on the ship, or going on some sort of boat or adventure. I'm not seeing it in a negative connotations. I know that ship sank, but I feel like something about going on this adventure. So I'm going to leave that with you. Um, the thing I'll say to you is, um, for me, the feeling that I'm getting is that your life is not ending but beginning, and I feel that personal relationships in your life has definitely been your biggest, greatest challenge that you've had to overcome. And I feel that having a close knit of a circle or friends or people around you is really essential for you to grow, because I think you need to be around peers with like-minded thoughts and thinking, because I think that's really when your roots can come out and you can start sprouting upwards. So I feel really important to say to you that your angels are really encouraging you to be in friendship and companionship with others. The strength card that I've picked for you today is opportunity and change. And this represents your strength being able to change. Your strength is being able to change. And so not everybody loves change, but you have been served change time and time and time again. And so there's a talent there, this ability to kind of start again and build up again and snap back into it. This is a strength, and I feel like your angels are bringing to your awareness this need for you to appreciate your ability to self-serve and to support yourself and to be able to get yourself going again. Your challenge card, sorry, your heart card is forgiveness and understanding. And the angels are wanting to say to you that forgiveness does not mean you'll ever forget. Sometimes you remember the hard times, but that's to remind you how far you've come.
Okay.
And just because you're remembering something and the old pain comes up doesn't mean that forgiveness has not been successful. Because I think you've tried really hard to forgive. And then you're like, I thought I had forgiven that. And now it's coming back to haunt me, you know? And so what I want to say is, when you have these old thoughts and memories of the hard times showing up, it's actually an opportunity to look at it like an old black and white photograph. That's not me anymore. This isn't in color. This is just a figment of who I used to be. Your challenge card is really big stuff. It's self-acceptance. Now, I think this is your challenge because you've done a lot of work on loving this gorgeous body that you are in. And I think you've changed your opinion to the physical you along the years. And I think for once, you've maybe reached a point of deep self-respect. And from self-respect comes self-love. And it's the respecting the self of, no, I will not submit myself to this person's bullshit. No, I will not let myself go down this track. No, I will not allow you to mistreat me in this way. That's self-respect. And from that, self-love comes. So for your future, and based on the energy that I can feel in the vortex around you, is I feel something about adventure. Whether the ship is a metaphor or not, there's something else out there for you. And the angels are encouraging you to go out there and search for it. And I get this feeling that where you are living in the world is where you're not supposed to be forever. I feel like you need to be around more peers, more people, and more community, because that's when we see Reina bloom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did that help you today?
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you take this as a big sign that the angels are with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, love. I'll see you soon. To everyone else, thank you so much for being part of this. This has been an absolute honor and pleasure to be in your company this past 3 days. Right now, Certified Angel Guide is available. I'd love to see you on the inside of the members area. Check out the email we've just sent you. And until we meet again, I'm sending you lots of love from Scotland. Bye-bye.